Oh, yeah, we're back. Yes, we are. And Kurt is with us, of course. And outside of the popcorn, which thank you very much, what do you have for us this week?
Well, you know, when you think about teen movies, you can't begin the list without thinking of John Hughes and all his 80s films like Breakfast Club, Pretty in Pink, and 16 Candles. You know, though those films are almost 30 years old, the themes still resonate today. Which brings me to today's one of Netflix's most newest original films, Tall Girl. Tall Girl is the story of Jody, a 6 foot tall, 6 foot 1 inch junior at a New Orleans high school. She spends each morning being greeted by most of her classmates with a healthy, how's the weather up there? So no one is even 6 foot at her school, but when a foreign exchange student shows up that's just exactly the same height as her, you know, they make some goo-goo eyes at each other. But there's a problem. Every other girl in school wants to date this guy, too.
Isn't that just the way?
Yep.
Okay, so how did this girl do?
She's amazing. This is actually a really enjoyable movie. Well, you know, she just did a casting call out of all these girls around the world, and they only asked for 5'10", which isn't that tall for a high school, really. I had a ton of kids. A ton of kids in my school who were well over 6 foot. So, but you know, she's an amazing dancer. You know, she was in So You Think You Can Dance: The Next Generation, Dance Moms, and she's lived this life. She had some bullying growing up, so obviously because she was tall, and she's really kind of stepped up and kind of made it a campaign, anti-bullying campaign. So I was very impressed to find out about this girl.
So how was the rest of the movie?
The movie was really good. I mean, you've seen the storyline before. I mean, like I said, Pretty in Pink. There is a ducky in this movie. But there's some really good performances. Angela Kinsey plays her mother. She's from The Office. And Steve Zahn plays her father. And, you know, like we've talked before about comedians, you know, sometimes you don't always think of them as dramatical actors, but he has some really great moments with her. There's a beautiful moment. Yeah, he's like 5'5", so her whole family is like almost a foot shorter than her. But there's this beautiful moment where he can still be dad, and she can still lay her head on his shoulder. And so there's some really good heart to this film, apart from just the typical teen drama stuff that we hear. You know, it's for millennials now. It's a new generation. And
with Steve Zahn, I mean, when you say a comic, a lot of comics will tell you comedy's tough. Tragedy's easy.
Exactly.
So being a serious actor, a lot of them have made that jump and have done it. Steve Carell is the first one that I think of. Yeah, all right.
That's true.
All right, what else is out there streaming?
Well, the 8th movie in the Conjuring universe is out to buy today. Annabelle Comes Home, the 3rd film in the Annabelle series. It takes place with the famed demonologists, Ed and Lorraine Norman. They take home the Annabelle doll to their house, their secure room, with a big sign says, "Do not touch," and of course their daughter's babysitter opens the door.
That's the shit. You'd think they would have learned, people in movies by now, when it says "Do not touch," do not touch.
And don't run upstairs ever.
Also out today is Peter Parker Picks Up a Passport. Yes, our favorite SpiderMan is back after the events of the Avengers Endgame. You know, they called it the blip. But trouble follows him on his class field trip, and he has to become the neighborhood Spider-Man in Europe. You know, there's kind of a little irony here. Tom Holland, who's playing the most recent Spider-Man, he actually, you know, they shot Homecoming, you know, in the United States, Atlanta, New York. They shot Far From Home in Europe, mostly in England. Tom Holland, you might not know this until you hear an actual interview. He's British. So ironically, he's actually Far From Home in Homecoming and back and forth. So it was kind of an ironic thing. So, but it's definitely a blast if you like the Marvel movies.
Good
You're
flick,
going to have a great job. Jake Gyllenhaal, always a great performance from Jake Gyllenhaal. Mysterio.
I like Tom Holland.
Tom Holland.
Who's your favorite Spider-Man?
Oh gosh, I probably Holland. I really enjoy his youthfulness that's coming to it. I've enjoyed most of the first ones of each series, though.
He's less awkward, I feel like.
He seems to be more teenager, high school kind of his persona that Holland puts out.
Yeah.
They kind of forced the first two series, Andrew Garfield, Tobey Maguire, to become an adult way too quickly. And so this one, I mean, Spider-Man, when you actually read the comics, he was a kid. And so they're trying to keep him be a kid, you know? So it's kind of nice. Plus, it's a great change compared to all the other adult Marvel characters.
We probably have about a minute or so left. What do you think about Sony getting Spider-Man?
Well, you know, Sony already had Spider-Man, you know, but, you know, it was kind of inevitable. Disney only had a contract for a few movies anyways, but...
that was kind of short-sighted on Disney's part.
It's kind of, but, you know, they really made that series what it was, so Sony should really be thanking Disney for making that film and making it right, and so hopefully they can take this and actually build off of that. I know they're going to do the Sinister Six, which is another comic book, six-group bad guys that are supposed to take on Spider-Man.
But they're being pulled out of the Marvel universe.
Yeah, but it's just so
sad.
much changes now. I think they're going to do a young generation of Avengers. They're going to try to do several different things now. It's a whole new level of Avengers now. So
it'll be interesting to see how it all develops.
Yep.
Thanks a lot, Kurt. All right. Now, it's been a busy day here at Ozarks Live, and wanted to give a big thank you to Will Worsham with Speaking Legal, Bruce Porter, Dollars and Cents, Roger from Cajun Papa, Kyle from Springfield Symphony, Jordan and Sarah from Ozarks Food Harvest, Steve from Crosstown Barbecue, Kurt the yeah, there he is, and of course, Miss Cammie Jenkins.
Thanks for having me, Tom.
always enjoy having Cammie.
So we'll see you again tomorrow at 3. You never know, Cammie may show up.
Maybe not. We'll see.
Yeah. So thank you for joining us. Have a nice evening. See you tomorrow.
Bye-bye.